Agreements among competitors that unreasonably limit competition are unlawful under the antitrust laws, and violators subject to criminal fines and incarceration, civil fines, and private treble damage actions, as well as substantial administrative disruption, defense costs, and adverse publicity. Examples of such illegal agreements by competitors are agreements to fix or stabilize prices, agreements to allocate territories or customers, and agreements to limit output or even investments in innovation and regulatory compliance. Accordingly, it is inherently risky and potentially illegal for competitors to discuss any prices, pricing policies, specific terms and conditions of sale, profit margins, problems experienced with individual customers or suppliers, individual company costs, production or R&D plans, specific market shares of any competitor, or any other elements or factors that may affect competition. It is important to bear in mind that those in attendance at MTConnect Institute meetings or participating in and other MTConnect activities include your competitors. Any discussion of sensitive antitrust subjects with one's competitors should be avoided at all times before, during, and after any MTConnect Institute meeting or activity. If at any time during the course of any meeting or activity, the MTConnect Institute staff believes that a sensitive topic under the antitrust laws is being discussed or is about to be discussed, they will so advise those present and halt further discussion. Attendees at any MTConnect Institute meeting or other activities should likewise not hesitate to voice any concerns they may have in this regard. All MTConnect Institute members and staff share in this important responsibility. Thank you. My name is Russ Waddell. I'm the Managing Director for the MTConnect Institute. One more administrative note on this business meeting. Please note that this and all business meetings are open to the public and the materials included here are not confidential. If you have questions on the material being presented, I ask that you please submit that through the chat and I will address each question as we get it. There is time at the end for discussion if needed, based on any questions or feedback we get through the chat. Finally, everything discussed here is not confidential at all. This is unlike other MTConnect activities. The TAG meetings and working groups are confidential. This meeting is intended to share general business goings on and happenings as outreach to the entire MTConnect community, including all users and anyone else interested in the standard. So this material is already been scrubbed for anything confidential or sensitive and is intended as a public outreach, not a confidential meeting. Topics to be covered today will be the Standards Committee, IMTS planning, the open source agent, and active working groups, as well as a couple of other administrative notes to wrap up the meeting. The first order of business is to discuss the Standards Committee. The MTConnect Technical Advisory Group, which is responsible for actually developing the MTConnect standard, is an industry group made up of software companies, manufacturing technology providers, and end users of equipment and the standard. That tag has been the standard development body for the MTConnect Institute since the inception of the standard in the early days of the MTConnect Institute. As we have become accredited under ANSI, the American National Standards Institute, we are changing from the Technical Advisory Group to a Standards Committee. The group will have the same functional role. However, the name Standards Committee is more in line with ANSI policies and procedures. And in order to make it easier to pass an audit under the ANSI procedures, we're changing the name of the tag to the Standards Committee. So what this means for anyone participating in MTConnect standard development activities is that all companies, including current tag members, must opt into the Standards Committee. To do that, there'll be a web form submitted to all current tag members via email. The web form for the opt-in will also be included on mtconnect.org and in the newsletter. If you don't get the web form, you can contact info@mtconnect.org. That email goes to me and I'll get you in touch with the form. We'll also announce the Standards Committee opt-in period through a variety of other outlets. To opt in, you'll need to fill out the form, which will also require you to review and agree to the IP policy. The original IP policy for the MTConnect tag was drafted in 2010. We've updated that and gotten a new legal review for the IP policy to coincide with this opt-in period to the Standards Committee. There are not substantial changes to the policy. We're working primarily from the original policy. Edits include changes for clarity and alignment from outdated practices to current practices of the institution procedures. However, when opting in, you must sign that IP policy and agree to the terms therein. The other requirement to opt in is that you must designate a delegate for your company. In the past, this delegate role has been referred to variously as a primary point of contact or the primary voting member. All of these are the same thing. All it means is that we need one person from each company that's joining the standards committee as a point of contact, someone to submit a vote, and someone that we can have as a reach out to for business matters of standard development activities. The other piece to note about the standards committee is that the implementer membership level will be phased out. There will be no more membership level called implementer. There will still be a level for membership for those not wanting to become a standards committee member. Those not joining the standards committee but still interested in a membership in the MTConnect Institute may join as an MTConnect Institute member. That allows you to be listed on the MTConnect.org website with your company name and gives you some visibility and association with the standard activity. However, it doesn't allow you access to pre-release standard documents. It doesn't allow you to make contributions to the standard, and it does not give you the privileges to attend meetings unless you additionally sign the IP policy for each of those meetings. So for any TAG members who decline to opt into the standards committee, their company membership will automatically default to an MTConnect Institute member. For anyone who wants to join the standards committee, whether that's a current TAG member or otherwise, we will need that opt-in form submitted. It will be open for at least 1 month starting in July next week. The tag will be fully phased out by the end of the summer. September 1st is the current date slated for the end of the tag and the full implementation of the standards committee. The next order of business on the agenda is planning for the IMTS 2008 trade show that will be held in Chicago, as it is every 2 years at McCormick Place, taking up all 4 buildings. The MTConnect Institute will be housed with a booth in the Student Summit. We have a medium-sized booth, and we'll have a demonstration of the standard, as well as staff available giving educational briefings and overviews of how MTConnect works and what the standard looks like, as well as we're giving presentations each day in the form of learning labs hosted at the Student Summit Orientation Theater. Those learning labs will take place at 11 o'clock each day of the trade show. All dates and times here are subject to change, but the plan is to have a booth staffed the entire week in the Student Summit adjacent to the Orientation Theater, where educators, researchers, and students from elementary school all the way up through postgraduate will be able to attend to get to familiarize themselves with the standard. Other demos taking place at MTConnect inside or at IMTS rather, will be taking place both inside and outside the Student Summit. Those demos are put on by exhibitors and are intended to educate their customers about new and upcoming products, new technologies both on the MTConnect standard and otherwise. There is no central resource for finding all MTConnect demos at the show. You can look for MTConnect material by browsing Map Your Show, the show planning tool available for all exhibitors or attendees, or by asking about the standard when you're in machine builders booths or any place where you see data-related technology. Ask about the standard and see if you can find demos that way at the show. For those exhibiting and planning to demonstrate something related to MTConnect, the MTConnect Institute offers marketing support in terms of collateral and brochures and other marketing materials, as well as boilerplate language about the standard and so on. To get that sort of information, you can contact me at info@mtconnect.org. Just let me know what you're looking for, and we'll help you get prepared with any materials that are MTConnect standard or institute specific that you'd like to include in your booth exhibit. Next up is the open source reference agent for MTConnect. So the reference agent for MTConnect has been released in stable form in C++ for quite some time now. That project is still active. It's still under active development. and is available on GitHub if you are interested in seeing recent contributions, submitting an issue, working the project, or otherwise getting familiar with how the reference agent is working. In addition to the C++ agent, there's also a beta release of the Node.js agent, also available on MTConnect as well. Both of these are open source projects that are available for free for downloading, testing, further development, etc. These projects are always in search of contributors in the form of actual developers or anyone even just submitting issues through GitHub. If you're unfamiliar with GitHub but are interested in using the software that's required to implement the MTConnect standard, the reference agent is a great choice for where to start. If you're more familiar with JavaScript, start with that Node.js agent. If you're more comfortable in C++, the stable release is a good starting point. The functionality of each is described in detail in each project on GitHub. In both cases, the agent is intended to be compliant with the MTConnect standard itself. Last item on the agent, there's a working group of the standards committee dedicated to the agent. That working group's current workload is preparing a software architecture document to outline the needs and functional capabilities of a reference agent. That's intended to guide development around both the Node.js and C++ agents and get a better understanding of how to go from the capabilities required by the MTConnect standard and what's specified there to actual functional code requirements and system architecture. That group is meeting every other Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. The next meeting will be July 11th, and if you have any interest in that, you can contact me at info@mtconnect.org requesting to join that working group, or you can also visit the working group section of the MTConnect Institute website, which we'll get into here shortly. In addition to the agent working group, there are quite a number of other active working groups doing a variety of activities around the standard. Those working groups that I would consider very busy at this time include the OPC joint working group between MTConnect and the OPC Foundation. That group is actively trying to redevelop the OPC MTConnect companion specification, as well as implement that in an actual facility or manufacturing line. The agent working group I discussed in the last slide. The additive and robotics and machine tool working groups are working hard at extending MTConnect data items and data models to cover additional types of technology in the standard. The parts and processes working group is looking to expand information models from beyond simple models of equipment or types of machinery and into modeling processes and parts. That includes new data items. It also includes new concepts for how to relate a part or a process back to a piece of equipment. All of these busy working groups are working towards including new materials in version 1.5 of the MTConnect standard, which is slated for release early next year. There are several new working groups that are recruiting members and interested in finding new participants. Those include a thermal processes working group that's focused on autoclaves, ovens, and similar, as well as a group that they previously existed as the interfaces group and is now will be re-established to cover concepts around interfaces, orchestration, and choreography. So what that means is how multiple pieces of equipment may operate with one another in concert at the same time. So that could be a robot to a machine interface. It could be multiple machines working as part of a flexible manufacturing system, etc. That group has yet to officially form. If you're interested, you can submit a request to join that working group at this link, mtconnect.org/working-groups. The activities of all working groups are listed publicly on this page, along with a form to submit for you or anyone else from your company indicating interest that you'd like to join the working group. The only thing we ask for is your name, your company, and your email address. If you're not already a member of the Standards Committee and request to join a working group, we'll send you back a request that you join the Standards Committee. That remains free of charge and open to anyone. If you are already a member of the Standards Committee, then all you need to do to join a working group is let us know. You can do so through this form, through an email to me or the MTConnect Institute at info@mtconnect.org, or by contacting the chairperson or a member of any one of these existing working groups. Another item worth noting related to working groups is that since the last TAG meeting in May, the Institute will be moving to publish, in addition to standard documents as formal official releases of the MTConnect standard, also publish technical reports. These will be additional supplemental documents intended for providing things like implementation guidance or best practices, or reserved for narrow concepts that need further development. So if something has been brought up repeatedly as an issue inside the standards development activities, but is not quite ready to be included in the full MTConnect standard, or if there's a short timeline where there's an immediate and pressing need to release a new function without the time to necessarily get it through the entire standard development process, a technical report may be used for any of those items. Technical reports can be written and discontinued. Technical reports can be written and then further developed into official releases of the standard. The objective is to give additional flexibility and a publishing outlet for formally preparing and creating content and material that's relevant to the MTConnect community and has been officially blessed by the standard development process without requiring the rigor and detail of a formal release of a standard document. So far, there have been no technical reports released, but pay attention to upcoming notifications and announcements related to technical reports in quite a wide variety of different initiatives that the working groups are taking on at the moment. Wrapping up for this month's meeting, it's also worth noting that the MTConnect Institute is accredited under ANSI. What that means is that the MTConnect Institute itself is now an accredited standards developer. The specifics of that are that the ANSI organization has blessed the MTConnect Institute's process by which it creates and develops standards. Additionally to accreditation for the Institute itself as a standards developer, there's an additional accreditation for any version of a standard that's to be accredited as an American National Standard. So version 1.4 of the MTConnect standard will be released as an accredited national standard. That process is already underway now. There'll be a revote on version 1.4 that accompanies the opt-in period for the MTConnect Standards Committee. Then once the procedures of ANSI have been completed for version 1.4 of the standard, including an announcement period and the official vote among the TAG, the version 1.4 standard for MTConnect will be blessed as an American National Standard. So again, it's a two-step process. The MTConnect Institute is already accredited as a standard developer. The second step in the process is that version 1.4 of the standard will be released as an American National Standard. Speaking of version 1.4, if you missed that that's available now, you can get that standard at mtconnect.org/standard. Version 1.4 is the latest release of the MTConnect standard and was released earlier this spring. Version 1.5 is in development now and is slated for release early next year. With no questions from the floor in this meeting, I will close. Thank you for your attendance and your attention. If you have any questions following the meeting, please don't hesitate to contact me. Again, this is Russ Waddell. I'm the Managing Director for the MTConnect Institute. You can reach me at info@mtconnect.org. Thank you for your attention and see you next month.